Well, a great day here in Ohio. It's beautiful. The sun is out. It's 5 degrees here right now. It's a little colder in Ontario, I'm told. Now that's cold. Had a pretty good day of training, qualifying, schooling this week. I want to go over it all. I did do a video yesterday, and then I forgot to post it when we ended up in Ohio because we didn't get there till late. It was 10:45. I was tired. I just went to bed, and I forgot to post the video. So I'm going to do a little recap of Friday, Saturday, training, schooling, qualifying, racing. We're going to talk about it all right now. Let's just start where it was. Let's start at Friday. Friday, we had a number of horses going out the door. 19 training. Now, for those of you who were astute enough, you saw that we had scratched some horses. Now, that was because we took the corks off them. And when it's minus 15, you think you probably need corks. That's what they're there for. But the track at Stutzman's was tremendous again, and we trained the horses that had no cork after, and they were fine. All three of them trained good. Well, I wanted to go in 250 with Punch the Clock. So she trained with International Spy and Easy in the turns, and all three of them. Well, Spy made a break. His left hind sesamoid's bothering him a little bit right now. Looks like maybe he kicked the wall or something, a little bruised there. But nothing really significant to talk about wrong with International Spy. So those three horses, for all intents and purposes, trained very well. Locatelli qualified good. I love the way that James handled this horse in his qualifier. Just kind of sat in behind, and he could have attacked down the lane and probably could have got up the win, but did the right thing and just kind of drove up on Bob's bumper, finishing up the mile. Right behind him was HP Mama B, so I'd say they're almost identical in the same boat. And I was happy with the way he went. Now, Schoolers went very, very well also. Now, JK Victory won his Schooler, but still running in on the turns a little bit. Little funny right front and right hind. I talked to Ronnie Burke a little more extensively about him, and quite frankly, we have two options. Our options are, one, send him to New Jersey and let him race on the biggest track, which he tends to like, I guess. Hoosier's not open yet anyway. So, the reason being, he touches his inside knee a little bit and he gets off a little bit in the turn. So you get running in the turns, he gets touching his knee, he gets out of gear. And that last turn at Mohawk, he doesn't like it as much as he likes the Meadowlands, or definitely Hoosier. Two obviously totally different surfaces and configurements of racetracks in the latter two tracks. So our other option would be to tinker with his shoes and his equipment right now to try and get him right. Problem I have with that is we start tinkering with him and we get a little regression. Are we going to be able to just put him back the way he was and have him back the way he was? It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you go down one road and it's not that easy just to put it in reverse and back up. So I did speak to Ronnie, and we do have Megan also on the East Coast, and just said, because he had the horse and knew him so well, I said, hey, would you like to take JK Victory? He said, yeah, we talked about the horse, and he said, I just want to make sure I can get him in every week for you. I want to make sure that there's no overlap with our horses. And if there is, I suspect I'll just send the horse to Megan. I think that's the right way to go with this guy. And I love the fact that it was James and Harry were the ones that said this first. I didn't want to just say, we're going to send the horse away, and then, Harry takes it as a slight on his horsemanship. That was not the case at all. And, I love the fact that our people, our core, our stable employees, whether it be the caretakers, the trainers, or the drivers, understand what's at stake here. What's best for the stable is best for them overall. And, this means Harry losing the horse out of his barn, James losing the drive on the horse, but understanding that by having JK Victory race at his very best at a place he's going to be at his very best, then it's good for everyone. And it's a great feeling. As they were talking about it, obviously that voice went off in my head and said, geez, I might have to take this horse. They were the ones that said it first, which means so much to me. It allows me to do my job easier. So I'll wait to hear back from Ronnie on the math of if. And what he's saying is he doesn't want to get JK Victory down there and have to enter horses around him or vice versa. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to him. So if he has a bunch of horses that are going to fit JK Victory's class, then the horse may in fact go to Megan. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But huge respect to both James and Harry for putting that on the table before I had to. So I think that's probably the best thing. Rather than tinkering with the muffin mix, why don't we just send it back to the other oven? And I think that's what I mean by that is we can tinker with the shoeing in the equipment, but as I said, sometimes that's not easy to walk back, and it may make just more sense to just say, okay, no problem, it's not the end of the world, send the horse to Meadowlands. And I think that's where we're at with JK Victory first and foremost. I feel it is anyway. I'm obviously an open door policy, so to speak. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot of dialogue from a lot of people in regards to this horse, and we always do in regards to all our horses. But when it comes to JK Victory, it seems like this is the path of least resistance. There. That is the best way to put it. It is the path of least resistance. So JK Victory was good. But not good enough in a different way. And I believe we can rectify that quite easily. What else do we have? Oh, two very good schoolers yesterday. More Than You Know, 2-1 last half 56. He was great. And World for 2-1 last half 57. He was great. Two different schoolers. Both were very, very, very good. I know that Mario said they were good, and then James made a point to say, geez, that World for 2 looked really, really good. He didn't see the other horse go. So very happy with them. They're going to qualify next Friday. Then we rewinded a little bit more. We get to the babies. Now, I did, for those of you who are clever enough to see the scratches, a scratch great bet because we just had him vaccinated and he had a reaction. It's not uncommon. It happens. Kind of like when we had our vaccinations for whatever it might be. People would say you might feel a little ill the next 2 days. Same with horses. So great bet. Great bet. Was a little under the weather. We didn't train him. He jogged and everything's fine now, but he did miss Saturday. Punched the clock. I only wanted to go in 250, so that worked out well. We had a couple of scratches, and after we were done training, I was like, the track's so good, they don't need cork today, which was shocking, but true. So easy in the turns in International Spy, trained with Punch the Clock. They went well. International Spy, left hind's bothering him a little bit. Looks like he kicked the wall or something. We had him x-rayed and everything. There was nothing there to find, no chips, no lines, no nothing, just some discomfort in the points of the sesamoid. So we put a blister on him Saturday after he trained. And I guess the easiest way to put this, going to have a lot of people saying, well, is he going to be okay? When's he going to be okay? We're just going to blister him a couple of times, and when he's okay, he'll get the green light to go forward. But I don't foresee there being any issues with International Spy. So with that out of the way, the bulk of our training was still to go. And I was super impressed with the horses I saw. I moved over to let Winter Bells through down the lane, and Amy did. She went through it, zip right through, and won the set. She looked amazing. Drebin was second and very good again. Who was along the rail there? That horse was awesome too. On the inside of us, I was first over into Bruno, I believe. I think it was Bruno. Seasons of Love was behind us. James said, Time Is On My Side was ready to pounce and just got a little out of gear. He has flip-flops on still, and the track was so deep yesterday. In fact, his flip-flops are, I don't even know if they'd be good on a hard track right now. They're almost worn thin, just smooth almost. For those of you who are horsemen out there and you know what I'm talking about, after the flip-flops have been on for, depending on the track you're on, 3, 4, 5 weeks, it almost looks bare, flat, and that's how he is. Couple that with a deep track, so you can see why he got out of gear a little bit. Watch Your Mouth was great also. So Winter Bells was the set winner. We backed them up, as I said we were going to do. 42 at 45. Both these sets went. Winter Bells, Drebin. Insider Trading was good also. Far Outside, she was good. Don't Talk About Bruno. The entire set was very, very good. Time Is On My Side, Seasons of Love, and Watch Your Mouth. Second set went out also, and they were pretty good. Do we have any mistakes? James Arthur was good. Hallie in the Clouds, did she win the set? McPaisley was in behind us. I had Flash Fly, I think 4 across the track. I think I was 4th, beat a quarter of a length. Blarney Castle was good, I believe. J-Port Beach Boy. George of the Jungle might have been the winner. George of the Jungle was the winner, I believe. Hallie in the Clouds was second. Flash Fly and Blarney Castle, I believe, were 3rd and 4th respectively. We were both right there. James Arthur was in behind us. McPaisley was behind her, and J-Port Beach Boy was in the mix also. That horse is starting to really come around now. My only take after seeing these geldings come forward after castrating them, I think that J-Port Beach Boy is going to join the fray in the gelding division. I can't think of one reason to keep him a stud, and I don't think we will. So J-Port Beach Boy will likely be castrated. He didn't do anything super wrong. I just need him to do a little bit more right, and I'm sure he'll come to it. So then, as I said, She's a Sassy Beach race last night and was a winner. First winner for us. First winner of the year for Megan in the stable. So happy for her, too. She takes her job very, very seriously. And that filly looked very good last night. She was so pumped today to finish second, just get beat at the wire with Odds on Delray. She had that horse before, and the only reason we ended up with Odds on Delray is because Megan had called me and said the people were looking to move on from him. She had him before, really, really liked the horse, and was wondering if we'd be interested at the time in claiming him. There was a mix-up with the paperwork and the claim was disallowed. I had called the owner afterwards, very, very nice man, and Eric said, yes, rather than the $15,000 though, he wanted $17,500, simply because the horse looked like he'd probably win next week, which would net him $5,000. He said he'd split the difference. I thought that was fair, and aside from all of that talk, the biggest reason that was fair to us was it meant we could race the horse anywhere, not just back in Yonkers, but as you saw today, we could race the horse in Poconos. So it worked out a little bit of dumb luck, I guess, as you could call it. It worked out very, very well in Odds on Delray Race Great. Tonight we have Hunted House, so good luck to James and the crew with Hunted House. And then last night we did have, listen, it's not all a great weekend. We did have Macho Martini make another break. I'm more apt just to give him a pass on this one. I know that Dave was just trying to protect the horse, but he fools you because he simply can't trot enough to keep up to the gate from the 9-hole. He just can't do it. And when you're trying to time the gate with him, now you're 3 lengths off the gate. You feel like an idiot. I've been there before with other horses, and he just looked like he just chased him a little bit, and the horse said, go away. And he made a break. But he did qualify well. He will get another crack at them next week. And him and Eldies Patrick are on the thinnest of shaved thin ice. But they will race next week. Poor Eldies Patrick do the 8-hole. Well, you know what? He squandered the 2 or 3-hole last week. So 8-hole, he's going to have to make do with the 8-hole, and Macho Martini will be next week also. There was one little issue with the entries. The race office in Pennsylvania didn't realize that Walk on the Moon and Eldies Patrick were both stable horses, and the Also Eligible had a better date than Walk on the Moon, I guess. So he had to be scratched. So Walk on the Moon will go back next Thursday. We're going to have Blue Tesla, Walk on the Moon, a few other horses in next Thursday at the Meadows. Things will start changing now. I trained Sister Solange today. She's going to be requalified, and then she'll be going for that series at the Meadows. Dustin Hanover's paid into it also. I know that Megan is lobbying hard for either one of those to come to Yonkers, and they may very well. I mean, both of them will race for more money in the Yonkers and then onwards of 2 than where they'll race for at the Meadows. So there is that argument to be made, and we'll figure that out. Give me another sleep. I'm going to sleep on it tonight, and we'll figure it out a little bit more. So today, woke up today. We didn't get here until 10:45 last night. We were a little late getting out of there. Getting out of Ontario, we didn't leave till supper. Caught a little traffic, got a bite to eat, and got to the house at 10:45. Got up this morning. I was fresh. Got to the barn. We'd all the 2-year-olds. We're going to talk about them right now to train. And then we had some other horses to train in Ontario, some 3-year-olds to go. Obviously, I was pumped to see Locatelli qualify. I was pumped to see the 2-horses school. Although it wasn't what I wanted for JK Victory, it was nice to actually now start to form a path forward for this guy. After talking to Ronnie, obviously I was a lot happier in seeing the performance and then hearing it from the guy who made all the money with him and had him so good last year. Say, yeah, this is him. That's him. And whether I hope Ronnie gets him, but not because I don't want to send him Megan, but because he knows him better. And if he ends up there, he ends up there. But super happy to see 2 more horses hit the qualifying list next week in More Than You Know World for 2. Now, today we had a couple of trainers in Ontario. Unbeatable Kemp and White Tiger. You saw Locatelli start prepping for those series. Now, White Tiger, I know Joe and a couple of people said, geez, I'd be happy to see White Tiger in that series. I'm not going to be happy to see him in the series. He can't beat Locatelli in those horses for the most part. But he's always a horse knocking on the door, and if he can't get in the class below it, which hopefully will fill and he'll be able to, but if he can't, then we won't hesitate to put him in the New Holland series for sure. We have him, Resolute Bay, and Renegade Gypsy all paid into that series, so they have races when they come back. Kemp trained in 2-2 this morning. Dominic said he was great. If his knee is cold and he seems healthy and sound on Monday or Tuesday, we will likely qualify him on Friday, or I'll leave that up to Dominic and James. So his knees have some reactionary issues. So I guess that's a stupid way of putting it. His knees have, they're sore on the third carpal, and they have been for quite a while. And that last break on that crappy track for James kind of jarred him a little bit. He was a little sore after the race. Not broken bone lane, but a little ouchy. We had him up to the vet, and she was absolutely certain it was just his knees. We swam him for 3 weeks. We injected his knees with a medication called Noltrex, which is supposed to really help them. It's very long lasting. No steroids or anything in it, so nothing like that, but it will help the joint fluid capsule. Listen, I'm not a vet. It's good. How's that? It's good for the joints. So that has all taken place over the last 3.5 weeks. Trained him a couple of slow miles. Then I said, all right, just take him to Mohawk and go where he's comfortable. If that's 2.6, it's 2.6. If it's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes. Dominic said he was very strong in 2.2. Now I see James just texted me. I wanted to ask him specifically. He went with them. How was Tiger? How was Kemp? But the feedback I got from Dominic both were very, very good and ready to go for next Friday in a schooling qualifying setting, and then it'll be off to the New Holland for potentially off to the New Holland for Tiger and Locatelli, and then for Kemp back in the Nomers at 3 status, but it looks like he's ready to go. So that's great news. Stay close. His eye is good. We're going to start training him slower next week. It's not perfect yet. The problem is when you get his heart rate up, it creates a lot of pressure, and that may actually affect the eye a little bit. So the surgeon was asking us, please don't stress him too much just yet. And every time we went back and she looked at that eye, she said, better, better, better. She went from 3 weeks ago, saying 5% of what it was to not even giving it a percentage this week. So well on his way to being ready to go. And when she says, yeah, his eye is good, he will go. So by go, I mean he'll be in to go. So Kemp, Tiger, Locatelli, World for Two, More Than You Know, all those horses, stay close. They're all imminent. Their starts are imminent. So happy to see that. Now, we went with some 3-year-olds today. I was a little surprised. I went with High Enterprise today. She beat them all. She beat the other 3 fillies, and good horses. Now, 2 fillies and a colt. She beat Buzz at the wire. Held on. I tried the last half 104 on the front end in the jog cart at 1.5 mile speed. That's a lot of work. And High Enterprise was up to it today. She held off Buzz. There was 4 of us literally in a firing line across the track. High Enterprise, Tailgate Buzz, Leaps and Bounds, and Swinging Senorita, all 4 trained very, very good. And all 4 of them, as you can tell by the times, getting closer to the races. We also went with Cutie Cumber, Oh My Gosh, Full Heart, and Columbus. I almost beat Cutie Cumber with Oh My Gosh, and both were very good today. Now, Full Heart, I could hear making a noise. I think she had her air shut off a little bit. I should have just had Joey go with her. He knew her from last week, and Daryl went with her and kind of got a little, he got a little grabby. She got grabby, and he got a little aggressive with her, and I think she just kind of shut her air up. It happens, and she's an easy one to do it with. And Columbus, I think there may have been a little bit of a calamity. He made a little bit of a break in behind me, I believe, but probably ready to go 1 mile and 2:10 on the jog cart, or maybe the jog cart. I was going to say the race bike, but maybe the jog cart, all 8 of those horses. Austral was a little sick this week, and there's no rush with him. The tricky part with Austral is he's got too many wins and too much money made. You really just want to have him ready where if you got to prep him in an overnight race, getting ready for the Pennsylvania Stallion Series or whatnot, that's probably what we'll do with him. So there's no real rush with Austral Hanover. Coupe de Ville trained yesterday, or trained this morning. Now Jason, he's a go-getter too when he has to. When he knows it's time to go, it's time to go, and he can tell they're getting close. Also, I got to the burn at around 10 after 8 with Amy and the kids, and Jason already had 6 horses trained. He said that Coupe de Ville was great, Landing Strip was great, Smoking Hot Irish Girl was very good. Now Sir Strong, I trained the other day and he jumped on his foot, so he's going to miss a week. He was getting very, very close. He's going to miss a week now. Not much we can do about that. What a Mission trained great today, he said also, and I went with Mo Power Baby. Now, last week I went 1.5 miles, a mile and 2:14 after a half, and that was plenty for her. I backed her up to 1.5 miles with the last mile and 22 today. Very, very strong. So the fact that she was a little disheveled, a little, you could tell she was stretched in 2:14, and then backed her up 4 days later with 1 mile and 22, and she was well within herself. Just means that that's where she's comfortable going. So again, probably go 2:20 next week, and then back to that 14 speed the week after. She's close also. So those were the 3-year-olds that trained today. Let me make sure I get everybody. I want a big list here I want to talk about. Talked about Tiger, Kemp, Locatelli, High Enterprise, Tailgate, Buzz, Leaps and Bounds, Swinging Senorita, Cutie, Cumber, Oh My Gosh, Full Heart, Columbus, Ostra was a little bit sick, Coupe de Ville, Landing Strip, Mopar Baby, More Than You Know, Sir Strong, Smoking Hot Irish Girl, What a Mission, World for Two. I'm sure I missed a couple of horses in Ontario. Obviously, I don't know about, I didn't train Crantini. We'll start back with him. I'll go the Monday. I'll train him Tuesday probably. Spitfire Overseas and Carter Michael Dio are also training very, very well. Gandalf the Black is ready to school on Friday. So is Horn Player. Those horses are also ready to rock. So let's get to the horses quickly that went today. I was very happy with what I saw. I went with, easy winner was Sedona Hill. She was on point and ready to rock today. We get the corks off a lot of these horses, flip-flops off some of them, and they were very good. Pickpocket was good. Goldbug, Hanover, even Levesque in Action was very good today also. Sedona Hill was the winner. I just beat Amy with Oh Snap You. Mel Gibbswan was on the outside. Eric went with him today. Said he was over on the left shaft running in. That is exactly how I found him in his last two. I think he's just we're going to snap him into action now and push him a little harder. Not too hard, but just a little bit harder over the next couple of weeks. I want to get him a little more racy, but he's been very, very strong, and he was good again today. Irresistible Sun was weaving his way through. Now, the way I told everybody today, I don't want anybody really getting over the half faster than 25. Joey did in one set. But for the most part, everybody recognized what we were trying to do. I wanted movement today. You guys can go back and look at our videos for the last years previous to this. There'll be these days where we go slower, 42 to 45, but everybody moving all the time. Move, sit, and you kind of get shuffle back, spit out, come again. And that's how I wanted the horses moving today. Constant movement. The first set was great. It got a little tired through the middle, where people reverted back to sitting in a little bit, but the first set for sure was fantastic. Sedona Hill, as I said, a winner. Irresistible Sun was flying through late. I'll go from the top to bottom. Pickpocket was very good, just in behind us. Goldbug, Hanover was in the middle. Levesque in Action was right there also. Sedona Hill get up to win. Victory Blue Chip, Jason had him going good too. He was very good. The one I thought was most impressive, just out of the corner of my eye, was Irresistible Sun. I could tell he was just kind of weaving through and then shot through after the wire. And had lots of trot. Oh Snap You was very strong also, as was Mel Gibbswan. A great set, 5 sets of 8. It was a full house on the track today in Ohio. Arson was very good, but I could not get to the winner, Venice Blue Chip. She was awesome today. Very good. The only one that really made a mistake in the entire set in there, Born to Dance jumped over Shadow. Joey ended up in the first over position with him. Not really where you want to be with Born to Dance. And then he kind of leaped over something in the last turn. I told him, I said, let his head down. I know everybody gets in a habit of pulling their head up. I said, just let his head down. When you jog him this week, take him to the front track and jog him over all the shadows. In fact, take his head check right off. Just take it off and let the horse get his head down. And that's what I wanted to see happen this week. So he jumped over Shadow. Affection was amazing again. Venice Blue Chip was along the rail. Affection was in the middle. I was on the outside with Arson. And they were flying at the wire. I'm Fancy Like was coming to us. Cowboy by the Sea was weaving his way through. Paycheck Princess was closing with Gypsy Hill. 1 through 7 were all, I believe, it felt like anyway, within 2 lengths of one another. And then, as I said, Born to Dance had made a break, but he was looking good right up until he just jumped over that Shadow. We'll work on him with that over the next couple of weeks. You know, it's funny, people hear that, and I get people to send me a message, please put a shadow roll on him. No, I can't for the life of me understand why people think horses can learn so much. You know, we see how much a horse can learn, how smart they are, and you don't think they can figure out how to get over a shadow? You don't think they can figure out that that's just a shadow on the track? So no, he's not going to get a shadow roll. I'm going to let his head down and let the horse see what he's actually scared of until he's not scared of it anymore. And for those of you who might say, that doesn't work that way. Well, I'm sorry, it does. I do it all the time. We've done it plenty. How many horses you ever see at the stable.ca wear shadow rolls? Not many. We have some, but not many. And I know there's going to be people that think that's ludicrous, but, you know, it just... Horses are intelligent animals. We're not asking them to do arithmetic. It is, hey, here's a dark spot on the track. I know it's terrifying at 30 miles an hour. Let's go over it at 5 miles an hour until you realize it's not that bad at all. So that's what we will do with Born to Dance over the next 2-3 weeks. Now, the third set was also impressive. Ready for Landing. His chart line is great if you had one. He finished up strong, finished fourth, beat a length. We were really smoking on the end of it. His attitude was good. His work ethic was good, but he did make a break in the turn after, and I think he's going to fall in love with First Line over Northfield. It's just a bigger track, and then when he sees Mohawk, he's going to love it even more, and then if he does get to the Meadowlands, well, that'll be just for him. So Ready for Landing was good, and Tilly's Hanover was good. The horse, I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest movers over the last month, and he looked ultra impressive today again, Memory and Imagination. Horse looked very, very, very good on the track. I was really impressed with him. No Chance in Hill was good. Activation was good. Now, Lover's Play, I can honestly say I don't know. She must have been good. Jason said every horse he went with was good today, Jason Merriman. No complaints, not even a little bit of any of them. But I did not get a direct update on Lover's Play. Now, she jogged the other day. She was awesome. And when I went with her the week before, she was awesome again. I can only tell you what I know. I don't want to come on here and say, oh, she was good. I don't really know what she was. He said she was very, very good. He said all his horses were good. Really Don't Care was good. Amy on the far outside with her was good also. Now, actually, Amy beat me. So let me get this straight. I believe Memory and Imagination was the winner. Amy was third with Really Don't Care. I was fourth with Ready for Landing. So who was the other horse right there? It may have been Lover's Play, actually. It was either that or No Chance in Hill. I believe it was Lover's Play. So she must have been very, very good. Third and sixth. Looked like he jumped over something in the first turn, too. He is looking a lot better. I'll tell you who gets along really good with third and sixth. Jason McGinnis. The horse likes him. He gets along well with him. He said he was bomb-proof the other day. He made a break today, and it looked to me like he shied away from something. But he is coming. He's coming on. Fourth set. Now, what went on in the fourth set? I had Sweeney. I could not get to the winner, and you may be surprised to hear who the winner was. Now, he cheated. He went a little faster than he was supposed to. Purple People Eater put it on us today, and she looked very good. Joey Cramp went with her, got over the half a little fast, last half a little fast. I thought I would swallow him up. I just came first over at the quarter. I was out the whole way with Sweeney, but I just wanted to guard. I get up alongside, and I was trying to tell Joey, hey, you're going a little much. Joey had an accelerator stuck. And by the way this first part of the morning played out for Joey Cramp, he may have had a little chip on his shoulder going into the fourth set. So Purple People Eater was on the front. I was first over with Sweeney. Alibaba was in the 2-hole. Sunset Acres Girl was behind me. AC Swan was there. Digit and Chirahola. Now, I can tell you that every single horse in this set got a glowing report from their driver. Every single one of them. Alibaba, Eric said was good. Sunset Acres Girl flipped off my back and was flying at the wire. She went by Sweeney and almost got to Purple People Eater. They finished heads apart. I was a quarter of a length behind them. Amy was coming on the far outside with Mounts for All. All the horses in there. Digit, Southwind Digit, Chirahola, and AC Swan. All of them stayed at it. All of them did their work great. And this is almost the entire day. We have almost every horse trained as of right at that point. And I think 2 made breaks. One jumped over Shadow, and the other one, I believe, jumped over something. Then we went out in the fifth set with Widespread Panic made a break, but we didn't have the hobbles on him. And here's the thing with Widespread Panic. He's a hyper horse, and I believe he's just a little too tucked up. So I'd said this in a video the other day, and I hope the caretakers don't take it the wrong way, but I'm going to take 5 or 6 of the horses and give them to the more experienced grooms on the other side with Lauren Harmon and Sarah. They're going to take those 5 or 6 over there, because I want them to know they're responsible for putting the weight on these horses. All 6 of these horses have been told to me that they're eating well, yet they're not carrying the weight they should. So either they need more feed, or we need to alter their training schedule, or maybe in a case like Widespread Panic or Chirahola, they're just growing up. They're tall now, but I still want that weight on them. So those 5 or 6 are going to move to the other side. We're going to do some switching around now on the babies. Jason's filly was in there. Nicola Hanover was good. Widespread Panic made that break with the hobbles, and I went out with him after, and he was actually very good. Militant. Lauren Harmon jumped up. Amy had a drive in here, but we were getting a little bit late in the morning, and she had to drive Oliver over to D-Bat. It's called the batting cage place. So she took him over there. She jumped off of Prince Charmer. Eric jumped on Prince Charmer, and Lauren, who has a connection to Militant, she went with Militant. She takes care of Militant. So Militant was good. I had Pull the Shoes in there. Now, Pull the Shoes is very strong, but she's interfering behind, just touching a little bit. I know I know when I think about it now, sitting in the car, she just needs more work and more time. But that the horseman inside me wants to make changes to fix her right now. I just don't think, I've seen this gait before, and I don't think it can be fixed today. I don't think it can. Now, as I said that out loud, there are some things that we can try, that I may try with her this week. But as I talk to you right now, I don't know if that gait can be fixed today. What I mean by that is she's going to have to put more muscle on, more bulk. She has to bulk up a little bit. She's another filly. She's not skinny, but she is underweight, and she's going over to Lauren Sarah also. She's one of those horses. So Widespread Panic made a break, then went out with the hobbles on. It was okay. Militant was very good. Pull the Shoes was making a big move in the last turn and made a break. Prince Charmer was good in the middle also. Royal Emeralds, I believe, jogged in that set. I think Royal Emeralds won. Green Tea was flying up the inside. Joe Crampett, his own horse, in there, take a little sip. I was back a little bit, so I can't say with absolute certainty what took place the last quarter. But I believe Royal Emeralds was a winner. Militant and Green Tea were second and third. Prince Charmer was there. Nicola Hanover was there. Widespread Panic had made a break at that point. I made a break with Pull the Shoes, and Take a Little Sip was just in behind everybody else. So, truthfully speaking, we out of 40 horses that trained today, I guess one of them was Joe's, but still, out of 40 horses that went on the track, 4 made breaks. Of the 4 that made breaks, 2 of them jumped over something. The only horses to truly make breaks were Widespread Panic and Pull the Shoes. That's it. So a big, big day here at the stable in training. It's been a great 2 days. The only thing left to finish today is what will Haunted House do? Love to see him win. I'd love to see that horse win tonight, and I hope he does. So hopefully Haunted House can get the W tonight, and it can cap off a pretty good weekend. Now tomorrow we have Perlucky in the Open. Took a dive off. Dippers also racing. Somebody else is racing tomorrow also. I saw their name. Cash Deals is racing in Flamborough. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. This isn't even our videos. I haven't even done the videos. This is just Friday and Saturday. But I'm going to send it out. I want to talk about, we're going to have top 10 lists this week. Amy and I are going to do our own top 10 list. We're going to talk about all the babies, all the 2-year-olds. Should be a pretty interesting opening also. All that will come to you either later today or tomorrow. But for now, your video is done. You are all up to date. Everything that went on Friday and Saturday as of right now, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, you know it. Take care.